Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TCG Zone. Today, I just wanted to do a consideration of some pricing for the Star Wars Unlimited card game. It is probably my favorite card game ever invented. It's definitely it's definitely up there. I have learned and played a lot of TCGs. If you've watched anything else on my channel, you might know that already. And I just wanted to take a look a few days before release of Twilight of the Republic and to look at a few of the staple cards to see how expensive everything is, and then to look and see at what some of the legendaries and showcases from the new set are starting to sell for. Well, let's just get into it. So, the first thing I want to highlight is that there looks to be a single listing of a champion Dr. Evazan for close to $500. Now, I think that's really cool that it is listed for a price. I just don't see who would buy this because really, I'm only playing with a champion card if I'm the one who won the event to get me this champion promo because you know what's going to happen. Someone's going to know what this event was and what it means to have this promo, and they're going to ask, "Oh, did you win that event?" And you're going to have to tell them, "Oh, no, actually, what I did is I spent $500 on a Dr. Evazan." Um, I don't know, that would just be a little bit embarrassing to me. I just couldn't do it. Plus, it's $500. But there are a few more reasonable options. There's top 8 listing, top 4 listings that are somewhat reasonable, and there's even a Dr. Evazan finalist listing, a couple of them it looks like, that are more reasonable. Um, and if it's just an art that you really, really like, well, you can go for either the top 8 or top 16 listing, and you can save close to $400 or so dollars. Okay, well, let's go back. And I tried searching for some showcases just to look. Well, we know that Boba Fett from set 1 is probably the strongest leader in the game. And I say probably, I can probably definitively say at this point that it is the strongest. Um, and I think it's a pretty decent price for the best leader in the game for his showcase price to be at. I know for the longest time his showcase was sitting at hovering around $1,800, $900. I think this is just a lot more reasonable to have it close to 500. I know that's still pretty expensive, but again, he is the best leader in the game. Um, and then some of these pre-sale showcases we'll look at in a second. Um, you can see that a whole case of Shadows of the Galaxy can be found for a little over $414. That is so low. You know, MSRP, if these are each being sold at $120, would make a case MSRP $720. You are saving over $300 at this point on a case. Um, it's really problematic how little value there is in this set, and then just I think showcases in set 2 were ridiculously hard to find. So personally, I opened a bunch of boxes between set 1 and 2. All told, for sets 1 and 2, I probably opened close to 14, 15 boxes, and I didn't hit a single showcase, um, which is, unlucky, but that's okay. I don't play the game or buy boxes um, to have financial stability. I do it and I budget for it, so don't feel bad for me. Um, but let's look at another one of the best leaders in the game, Sabine. And to see her showcase is hovering around $250, and that seems to be a good price as well. We've seen in set 3 that there really isn't another comparable leader in this red, white, 4 cost space that's as fast or powerful as Sabine. Um, and so it's a little bit surprising that she's not closer to that $400 or $500 range like Boba is. But I had some thoughts, and my thinking led me to believe that the reason she's not as expensive is because a lot of people play Sabine. One, because she's good, but also two, and this is the important part about why her showcase price is right here, is because she is also really powerful on a budget. And so people who just want to go and be competitive but don't want to cost an arm and a leg, they might not shell out for a showcase. Whereas people who are playing Boba are also probably playing Vaders and Mauls and Fett's Fire Sprays and lots of expensive cards. And so they might not have as hard of a time as shelling out for the big spender. I wanted to look at a couple more singles, so I am thinking that we might look for Vader. And we see that Vader is sitting around $50. Really, I think you're going to continue to see his price drop. The biggest reason that his price dropped in the first place was because of this card right here. Maul is so strong, and if you maul an ambush into a Vader, that is just so much stronger because your Maul will live, and potentially, even if you have another unit, that unit can take all the damage. But even still, your Maul, 1-for-1 on a Vader, your Maul lives and the Vader dies. And so that's pretty strong. It is also pretty strong to have the top 10 cards of your deck and be able to search them and get a 3-cost black unit or villain unit. But it's just, I mean, again, a rare that's as powerful as this legendary. It's going to continue to bring its price down. And then set 3, we also saw Cad Bane, the unit. And that is just so strong as well that it just seems that 7-cost slot is it's getting to be pretty packed with a bunch of really powerful units. And well, gosh, Vader seems like he's good, but he has some competition in that space now, so it's kind of good for bringing the price down. Boba Fett, of course, is still $30. There's really no yellow villain 3-drop that's as good. Toro from set 2 is close, but Boba Fett's still just really strong, especially with a Boba Fett's armor on him. And let's see where Luke is, and he's still sitting around $40, so his prices become closer and closer to Vader's because Vader has gotten more competition, but Luke hasn't really gotten any. There's really no 7-cost blue hero card that's even close to being as good as Luke is. And even, I'm not saying Luke is the best card ever, but there's just really no competition in that space. And so, yeah, but we can go back and look at a couple of the showcases for set 3 to see where their prices are, and then just to consider a couple of financial things. Let's see, I need to search for showcases. So there's a few showcases that are selling currently than more than a case is. So the fact that a case of the newest set, it's on pre-sale, granted, but it's already selling. There's 44 listings, but some of them are $484.99 right now. That is so low, and I think it's just going to continue to drop, if I'm being honest. I don't see it going up, and I don't see it remaining the same. I just see it going down, and as someone who likes to crack packs and just have fun and draft at home, I benefit from that. But I know that there's a whole controversy on how stores will make any money off of the set, and well, that's a topic for another video. But anyway, let's look at, for example, Yoda. He's one of the most hyped He's one of those hyped up leaders from this set, and some of the initial listings are right there at $500, and that seems pretty fair to me for one of the most hyped up leaders. Okay, and then we also saw earlier that there is a Palpatine showcase, and he is hovering around that $500 slot too. 430 here. There's one around 500. It just makes sense, right? He's really desired leader in the game, and the fact that he doesn't have a unit side, but he can play both hero and villain cards. Lots of people, I think, are just going to be excited about him. And then we have Nala Se here, hovering on the $300 slot. Quinlan is about 400. I think he's going to be pretty good in the meta. Count Dooku we saw a second ago. But then let's look and see at some of the older or set 2 and 1 showcases and see where they're sitting. Well, we can see Iden is around, says there's a listing for $100. And there's a few. They're just, going lower and lower. I think she's getting sort of meted out. I don't think a lot of people are going to continue to turn to her. So there's a few really interesting options for close to the $100 range. So we have Jyn Erso and Finn being under $100, as well as Fennec. They are pretty weak. You can probably cheese out some wins here and there if you're a decent player at locals with some of these leaders, but I wouldn't bring them to a planetary qualifier probably. And then IG-88, he's pretty fun, but he just dies so fast. And then Lando is pretty cool as well, and those are some budget showcases, if you will. I know $100 isn't anything to bat an eye at, and Iden's pretty low too, and Cassian is just hovering around there. So I just wanted to give a little speculation on some pricing and look at some of the card pricing just a few days before release, and maybe I'll try and do this again, and let me know what cards you want to look at for their pricing and what you want to talk about. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until the next one, peace, and please like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it. Bye.